In today's video, we'll discuss 9 things smart men should not do with women. Marcus Aurelius, one of Rome's most esteemed emperors, once noted that a man's biggest errors aren't necessarily the wrong actions he takes, but rather the things he attempts that he shouldn't. Interestingly, the more intelligent a person is, the more prone they are to these mistakes. In this brief video, I'll share insights from Stoic philosophy, valuable lessons that I and many other men have learned through experience. I'm sure many of you watching can relate to the situations we'll cover. Before we get started, please comment if you've ever made one of these mistakes. Your experiences could help others steer clear of similar pitfalls. First and foremost, it's essential to keep your past to yourself. The initial principle we need to address is safeguarding your history. Nietzsche once remarked that old thoughts can return to haunt us like the ghosts of our past choices, especially in relationships. It's crucial to understand that many intelligent men make the error of believing that being open about their past signifies emotional maturity. They reveal their darkest experiences, failures, and vulnerabilities, thinking it will foster a stronger bond. However, they fail to recognize that once something is shared, it cannot be retracted. I've witnessed numerous men disclose their deepest insecurities, past relationship traumas, or personal challenges, only to have those very revelations used against them later. As the Stoics advised, not everything needs to be voiced, and not every truth should be revealed. Consider your past as a valuable treasure. You wouldn't display it to everyone who shows interest. Instead, share it only with those who have demonstrated their trustworthiness over time. The harsh reality is that what you disclose in a moment of closeness can be turned into a weapon during a moment of anger. So, what's the answer? Be discerning about what you share from your past. Share gradually, thoughtfully, and most importantly, only what is relevant to your current relationship. As Marcus Aurelius stated, the best revenge is to not emulate your enemy. In this context, the best way to protect yourself is to avoid relinquishing your power through hasty revelations. Keep in mind that mystery is not only appealing, but also serves as a safeguard. Maintain the privacy of your past, not out of shame, but to protect what is valuable. Your story belongs to you, and it should only be shared with those who have earned the privilege to hear it. Number 2. Confront your fear of alone. Let's discuss a topic that many men hesitate to acknowledge: the fear of being alone. Aristotle once said that self-awareness is the foundation of all wisdom. However, the harsh reality is that numerous men remain in unhealthy relationships simply because they dread being alone. Consider this. How often have you witnessed a friend, or even experienced it yourself, clinging to the wrong partner because the idea of solitude felt more daunting? It's akin to remaining in a burning building out of fear of the cold outside. As the Stoics taught, our fear of emptiness can sometimes be more harmful than the emptiness itself. I recall working with accomplished businessmen, CEOs, and leaders, men who could dominate boardrooms yet struggled to spend a Friday night by themselves. They would rather tolerate chaos, disrespect, and even emotional harm than confront their fear of being alone. What they fail to see is that fearing solitude means relinquishing your power to anyone willing to keep you company. The Stoic philosophers recognized a crucial truth. A man who cannot be alone will never truly discern whether he is with someone out of love or out of fear. You cannot make sound decisions about relationships while fleeing from loneliness. So, what can you do? Begin with small steps. Learn to appreciate your own company and find tranquility in solitude. The paradox is that once you become comfortable being alone, you will naturally attract individuals who enhance your life rather than merely filling a void. Remember, being alone does not equate to being lonely. It signifies the strength to wait for what you truly deserve instead of settling for what you fear losing. Number 3. Safeguard your mental health. Let's address a topic that men often overlook: maintaining your mental peace in relationships. The Stoics recognized a crucial principle: your mind is your stronghold. However, many men allow their mental health to deteriorate just to please others. Interestingly, we prioritize our physical health by going to the gym and work hard to secure our financial stability. Yet we often let someone else's turmoil disrupt our mental well-being, as Marcus Aurelius cautioned. A fulfilling life requires very little. It all lies within your mindset. I've witnessed intelligent men become anxious and restless, constantly checking their phones, over-analyzing conversations, and losing sleep over someone else's emotional fluctuations. They convince themselves that this is just part of being in a relationship. But the reality is, if your relationship consistently disturbs your peace of mind, it isn't love, it's emotional conflict. The Stoics imparted a vital lesson: your mental peace is non-negotiable. It shouldn't be sacrificed for a relationship. If you compromise your inner tranquility, what do you bring to the relationship? A stressed, anxious, and drained version of yourself. So, what can you do? Establish boundaries. Learn to say no. Distance yourself from drama, and most importantly, recognize that someone who genuinely cares for you will never force you to choose between their happiness and your mental health. Remember, prioritizing your mental health isn't selfish, it's essential. After all, you can't give from an empty cup, and a healthy relationship cannot thrive with an unhealthy mind. Point number 4. Take pride in your accomplishments. Many intelligent individuals encounter a contradiction. The more they succeed, the more they hesitate to acknowledge their achievements in relationships. Epictetus once remarked that if you wish to grow, you must be willing to be seen as foolish. However, it's important to recognize that there's a distinction between being humble and concealing your talents. I've observed successful men who downplay their accomplishments, hide their aspirations, or even act as if they are less successful, all out of fear of coming across as arrogant or intimidating. They may build businesses, earn accolades, and achieve significant milestones, yet in personal relationships, they often downplay their success. Why does this happen? Because they have learned that being too successful might drive people away. It's crucial to understand that if your success makes someone uncomfortable, that is not your issue to resolve. As Marcus Aurelius advised, the best way to respond to negativity is to not emulate it. Don't dim your brilliance just because it might overwhelm those accustomed to darkness. The truth is, being proud of your achievements doesn't equate to boasting. It involves recognizing the effort you've invested, the challenges you've faced, and the aspirations you continue to pursue. A strong woman seeks a partner who embraces his success, someone who can motivate her to pursue her own ambitions. So, what's the answer? Embrace your journey. Celebrate your successes, not to show off, but to inspire. The right person will not feel threatened by your accomplishments. They will be eager to join you in your next adventure. Remember, your achievements are integral to your identity. They are not merely bullet points on a resume, they are significant chapters in your life story. Anyone who wishes to be part of your life should be prepared to engage with the entire narrative, not just the easy parts. Number 5. Use your time wisely. Let's discuss a topic that may resonate with you: the loss of your most valuable resource, time. Seneca, a prominent Stoic philosopher, made a profound observation. It's not that our lives are short, but rather that we squander a lot of it. This is especially true in relationships. Consider how many hours you've spent over-analyzing text messages, waiting for calls that never came, or trying to decipher someone's true intentions. Reflect on the weekends you've wasted trying to please someone who was uncertain about you. As Marcus Aurelius noted, time flows like a river. Once it passes, it is lost forever. I've witnessed too many men devote their prime years to pursuing individuals who view them as a backup option. They delay their own goals, cancel plans with friends, and skip workouts, all for someone who wouldn't reciprocate. The harsh reality is that while you prioritize someone else, they may only see you as an option. The Stoics recognized a vital truth about time. It is the only resource that cannot be reclaimed. You can always earn more money, forge new relationships, or create new opportunities, but once time is lost, it is irretrievable. So what can you do? Begin to treat your time as the precious asset it is. Before you invest hours, days, or months in someone, ask yourself if they are equally invested in you. Are you nurturing a genuine connection or merely filling an emotional gap? Keep in mind that a wise person not only manages their finances well, but also prioritizes their time even more. Ultimately, when we waste time on the wrong person, we are not just losing hours, we are giving away parts of our lives. Number 6. Stay true to yourself. Let's discuss an important topic: the importance of being authentic in relationships. Albert Chu made a profound statement about this. When you begin to alter your true self to satisfy someone else, you start to lose your identity. Reflect on how often you've agreed to something when you really wanted to decline, pretended to enjoy something you despised, or conformed to beliefs you didn't share, all to keep someone else happy. The Stoics remind us that when we attempt to be someone we're not, we suffer in two ways: from the effort it takes and from the disappointment of failing. I've witnessed strong, principled individuals completely forsake their values, shift their aspirations, and even distance themselves from loved ones just to meet someone else's expectations. They become skilled at pretending, acting out a role they believe their partner desires. But here's the harsh reality. Once you start performing instead of being genuine, you've already lost. The irony is that trying to be what someone else wants makes you less appealing, not more. Authenticity possesses a strength that no act can replicate. As Epictetus said, if you wish to grow, be willing to be seen as foolish for staying true to your beliefs. So, what can you do? Begin to say no. Share your true thoughts. Stand firm in your principles. Yes, some may not appreciate it, and some may even leave. But isn't it preferable to be alone for being your true self than to be accepted for being someone you're not? Remember, the right person will not require you to change who you are. They will encourage you to become a better version of yourself, not a different person entirely. Number 7. Don't compromise your goals for others. Let's discuss a common issue that affects many good men: sacrificing their dreams and aspirations for a relationship. Seneca expressed it well when he said that while no one can have everything they desire, they can choose not to waste time pursuing the unattainable. I've seen men pause their careers, forgo business opportunities, and abandon their passions just to fit into someone else's life plan. They convince themselves it's a compromise and a requirement of love. However, the harsh reality is that when you abandon your own path for someone else's, you're not merely giving up on your goals, you're losing a part of yourself. It's heartbreaking when these men realize years later, filled with bitterness, that they've lost sight of their dreams and barely recognize who they are anymore. As Marcus Aurelius advised, look deeply within yourself. There is a wellspring of strength that will always be there if you seek it. The real issue isn't just about missing out on opportunities, it's about losing respect, both for yourself and from your partner. Let's be honest. No one truly admires someone who forsakes their purpose for love. They may initially appreciate the sacrifice, but eventually they'll question what happened to the ambitious person they were drawn to. So, what's the answer? Keep your dreams alive. Chase your goals with enthusiasm. If your partner wants to join you on your journey, great, but don't veer off your path for theirs. A genuine partnership should enhance both individuals' journeys, not require one to give up theirs. Remember, the right partner will support your ambitions, not see them as competition. They will take pride in your goals rather than feel threatened by them. True love enriches your life. It doesn't diminish your dreams. Number 8. Value your family and friends. Let's talk about a significant error I often observe in intelligent men: sacrificing their essential relationships for a romantic partner. Plato had a point when he said, "The first and greatest victory is to conquer yourself. To be conquered by yourself is the most shameful and despicable of all." This is particularly evident when men forsake their support systems for a relationship. I've witnessed numerous instances of men gradually distancing themselves from friends, skipping family gatherings, and cancelling long-standing traditions, all in an effort to satisfy their partner. They believe they are investing in their relationship, but in reality, they are severing connections that they may desperately need in the future. As the Stoics remind us, no man is an island. Every man requires his tribe. The unfortunate reality is that by the time these men recognize their error, they often find themselves alone. Their friends have moved on, family ties have weakened, and if the romantic relationship ends, they are left truly isolated. The very support system they needed is the one they chose to neglect. Interestingly, the strongest relationships I've observed are those where both partners maintain healthy connections outside of their relationship. Relying on one person for all your emotional needs not only sets you up for disappointment, but also places an overwhelming burden on them. So, what can you do? Preserve your friendships. Stay close to your family. Make time for those who were in your life before this relationship and who will still be there if it ends. A partner who attempts to isolate you from your support system isn't safeguarding your relationship, they're controlling your life. Remember, your close relationships act as a safety net. You may not realize their importance when everything is going smoothly, but they become invaluable during tough times. Don't wait until you're in freefall to recognize that you've severed your own safety net. Number 9. Avoid over-reliance. Let's wrap up with perhaps the most important principle: steering clear of excessive dependence. Marcus Aurelius made a significant observation about this. You have control over your mind, not over external circumstances. Acknowledge this, and you will discover your strength. Allow me to illustrate a scenario I frequently witness. Intelligent, capable men become entirely reliant on a woman's approval, attention, or presence. They obsessively check their phones, organize their schedules around her availability, and feel anxious when they don't receive an immediate reply. Their emotions fluctuate with her messages, and their happiness hinges on her smile. As the Stoics would say, when you entrust your peace to someone else, you become a slave to their actions. Interestingly, the more dependent you are, the less appealing you become. It's a self-fulfilling cycle. Your fear of losing them often creates the very conditions that drive them away. Let's face it, no one wants to be someone's entire universe. It's too much pressure and responsibility. The harsh reality is that when you make someone your everything, you risk becoming their nothing. You cease to be the confident, self-assured person they were drawn to, and instead become a mere shadow of yourself, perpetually seeking validation and reassurance. So, what's the answer? Cultivate a life that is rich and meaningful, so that a relationship adds to it rather than completes it. Pursue your own interests, maintain your independence, and remember that true strength originates from within, not from external approval. Keep in mind, as Marcus Aurelius taught, the quality of your thoughts determines your happiness, not someone else's presence or approval, but your own inner stability and strength. As we conclude our exploration of these 9 essential principles from Stoic philosophy, let's remember that these are not merely rules for relationships. They are guidelines for preserving your dignity, strength, and authenticity as a man. From safeguarding your past to nurturing your independence, each principle we've discussed is rooted in ancient wisdom that remains incredibly relevant today. As Marcus Aurelius reminded us, very little is needed to create a happy life. It all lies within you and your mindset. These principles are not about manipulating or controlling relationships. They focus on establishing a solid foundation within yourself, ensuring that any relationship you enter enhances your life rather than defines it. The Stoics recognized a profound truth. True strength in relationships arises not from our actions, but from what we choose not to do. If this message resonated with you, please like and share it with other men who may benefit from it.